Here at 5th Street Food Mart, located at 1302 5th Street in Lincoln, for their annual March Madness event going on now. Scott Kirby and Josh Komnick will be out here until about 10 o'clock, about 21 minutes and counting.
And the big dogs take over.
The big dogs come and eat. Jim and Jeff number 2 will be here from 10 to noon. Come in, you can buy the lottery. If you buy lottery, I think you get a spin at the prize wheel for gift certificates in gas. Actually, one of the prize girls coming in right now. And then, or also the jacuzzi suite stay we talked about we'd enjoy. So get out here to 5th Street Food Mart. The March Madness thing is kicked off. We're just the pregame. The big game doesn't start until 10 to 12. But before we get into that March Madness, all that bracketology type of stuff, baseball started in the Lincoln area, Scott, and the Railers were victorious yesterday 6-5 over Metamora, the first game of the season. Head coach Kurt Courtwright gets a W under his belt, so a nice start to the season. They are hosting a doubleheader today at Mike Curry Field starting at 11 o'clock, hopefully weather permitting. I'm sure they'll get that thing going now, but as long as the weather holds off, they'll be starting at 11. Oh, man, I remember these early games of the year. Cold. I wasn't a guy that wore batting gloves. I just didn't wear them. I liked the feel, the bat, or whatever. But in games, weather like this, you better believe I had them on.
You know, you're almost afraid to swing the bat because it's just like bumblebees stinging those fingers.
You're begging you hit it in that sweet spot. Now, when I was growing up, the sweet spot was a lot bigger than it is now. Of course, they've got all those new bat rules and things like that. But the sweet spot was pretty big on the old Louisville Slugger, but not as much anymore. So, yeah, you definitely didn't want to get jammed or even hit it off the end because you're going to feel it for about the next, well, at least till you got home and got warmed up.
Now, Lincoln, that's an all-grass infield, right? So it probably can take some water, and is it pretty easy to
dirt.
get?
Well,
the
oh, yeah. You know, it just depends. The dirt when I was growing up was never great on water repellent. We always had a tarp, and usually the tarps weren't very good. So we had our few rainouts. You know, but I remember playing in stuff. If it ground ball wasn't hit at you, you weren't getting it because you were slipping and sliding everywhere else. So, you know, it's just that thing you do in the Midwest. That time of year, you know, it gets better in the next month or so. But here in this month is a lot of rainouts, cold games. Arms don't feel as well.
We had better weather in December than we have, February, March. So maybe
they'll turn it around. But and also tomorrow the Lincoln High School baseball team is sponsoring the pancake and sausage breakfast. I've got 8 to 12 on here. Usually they start a little earlier, but that's what I've gotten in my notes. So 8 to 12 for at the Legion for the pancake breakfast to sponsor the baseball team. So everybody get out there. I know I'll be stopping by for a little of all-you-can-eat pancakes and sausage to help the baseball program. But now March Madness is upon us tomorrow. I already said it earlier. It's my second favorite day of the year. First is the fantasy draft. Tomorrow is my second, where the brackets come out. A bunch of friends of ours get together. We watch it. Usually, in the past, we've watched Illinois in the championship because you remember that run of Illinois just dominating the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, it's been a few
Brian,
years.
the Emmanuel boys, Krapalia, all those. D. Brown, Darren, all those guys that gave us a lot of highlights. We were generally watching the game, transitioning right into the brackets. Well, the Illini are done after yesterday losing to Indiana. So a lot of things going on. The Illini yet to figure out. We'll find out tomorrow where they're going to be at.
Yeah, they're going to be somewhere. They're already in, and I don't know how many teams from the Big Ten can make it, but we could see a maybe 8, 9 teams.
I think right now they've got 7, and we can. The rundown here it says team 7 right now. Big East has 8, the Big Ten with 7, the Pac-12 with 5, the Big 12 with 5, SEC with 4. Wow, that's bad. Missouri Valley looks like they're going to put Creighton and Wichita in.
Wichita State.
So both of those teams, obviously Creighton's in with the win in the tournament championship.
Well, not to get off the subject of the NCAA tournament, but the NIT as well. And I think Jordan Nelson with Evansville, they have a good shot of getting in the NIT tournament. Not to change the subject or anything, but Another Lincoln native, Ben Brackney.
See him on the other night.
Yeah.
He played a lot.
And he's going to go. He's in a tournament. The Bucknell Bisons made the NCAA tournament. So that's 2 Lincoln, 3 with Jeff Alexander,
Yeah, Jeff's coaching at
Evansville. That's 3 local kids that are, still playing basketball in March. So that's huge.
Right now they've got the Bucknell Bison at a 13, and this is just Joe Lenardi's thing, but this guy is good. What'd they say? Last year he predicted 64. Let's see, how many he had? They have 68. I think he was 1 or 2 off.
Well, why don't they just put him in the put him on the board and everybody else can just stay home?
Right.
It's already done.
Yeah, he's dang good at it. But they've got the Bucknell Bison as a 4 seed playing in Kansas City, so not far for the especially the Brackney family to head over to Kansas City. They're going to be taking on, as of right now, predictions, Joe Lenardi, taking on Kansas State. I was watching the Bucknell play in the conference championship. Brackney got a ton of time. I think he had 8-10 points. I follow him throughout the year, and there'd be weeks where he doesn't even see the court. So I don't understand this whole thing of what obviously their coach knows a lot more about their team than I do.
Well, that's weird a good matchup.
It's weird to say, though, that you hardly get any time throughout the year, and then you're playing almost the whole game. I mean, he played a lot of the game in the conference championship, and I understand matchups and this and that, and maybe he's gotten it going, maybe he was injured that I didn't know about, but man, he looked really good. I mean, he's looked like he's put on pounds as far as muscle. It even looks like he's, to me, from the TV, he was guarding a look to be a 6'7", 6'8" kid, and he was barely shorter than this kid. So maybe he's grown a few inches, but he looked good.
Well, that's a good matchup for Bucknell. That's a Kansas State team. They're coached by Bruce Weber, so anything's possible.
Well, yeah, you say that, and he's got the Kansas State playing for the Big 12 title today against Kansas.
And that's not his guys, though, either.
No, but you gotta get your those kind of guys to buy in, and I truly believe. I love Coach Gross. I'm glad we got him, but I truly believe those guys gave up on him last year. I really do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Kansas State is really good. I watched him last night, and I know he's got some talent on that team, but he had some talent on the team last year with Illinois too, and I truly believe that those guys just refuse to put in full effort. But I'm kind of happy for him. Chester Frazier, an Illinois guard, is on the bench with Coach Weber. I saw him last night on the bench, so looks like that'd be kind of a neat matchup. Bucknell taking on Kansas State. Right now they've got Illinois as an 8 seed in the bracket with Duke, who Duke is the number 1. Now, I don't know if that's going to stay. I don't like Duke that well. Merely 1, because I just don't like Duke, and then 2, because I don't think their team's that good.
There's no reason you just don't like them.
Well,
I don't either.
But I don't think they're that good. They showed yesterday that they don't shoot well away from home. And when they can't shoot it, they're not gifted enough athletes to go to the basket, attack the rim. They've got a few, but not enough, and their guards are small. If I'm an Illinois fan, I love that bracket. If I'm going to be an 8-9, I'd rather be in that bracket than Louisville, Gonzaga, which I understand we already beat Gonzaga, but I think they're the second best team in the country, Gonzaga, third. I'm gonna go Louisville right now. I love Louisville. I like Indiana, and then I think Gonzaga is the third best team in the country. But if you pick a bracket to be in, if you're an Illinois fan, why wouldn't you want to be in Duke? If you're going to play that 1 seed in the second game, if you can get by Oregon, which I think we can, you've got Duke, who obviously it's going to be in Philadelphia. It's damn near a home game for them for Duke, but. As an 8-9 seed, you're not going to get close to home like when we were with Darren and Dee when we were playing in Indianapolis and Chicago every day.
That's why you got to get those higher seeds.
Right.
They'll try to place you in a region where it benefits because they want fans there. It's all about revenue.
Sure.
So they're going to put them as close as they can, but when you get a low seed like that, you kind of just get stuck where you're stuck. So. But Illinois, they usually draw fans no matter where they go.
They'll travel, and we'll have fans in Philadelphia. There's people that live on the East Coast that are alum of the U of I, and we'll have some people there. But I just think if you're an Illinois fan, you like to where you're going to be sitting. Now, this isn't by any means legit or that's what it's going to be.
It's not a done deal.
No.
This is just his predictions.
There's a lot of things that can happen in 2 days of basketball that are coming up. Louisville's a number 1, Gonzaga's a number 1, and also Indiana possibly a number 1. They're going for the Big Ten title. Well, actually, they've got the Wisconsin team. That
Wisconsin team that's plays
amazing today.
Yeah.
Indiana, Wisconsin today, and then also Michigan State and Ohio State play today. Michigan State barely got by. They just almost threw that game away last night late. But, it's as good as I thought a Big Ten tournament. Iowa showed some life. I thought some of those games early on would be blowouts, but how Illinois ever got by, why that guy ever decided to get so close to the sideline when they took it out for Minnesota the other day, just stepped out of bounds. Then Brandon Paul makes a lot of big shots, and he makes a big one to win the game. But the Big Ten tournament's been really exciting.
Yeah, I listened to it on the radio, and it's great. When you're at work, and that's another thing. Next week, you can listen to all these games on the radio, and it just makes your day a lot. It's better than listening to music all day. It changes it up, and can follow your teams, follow your brackets. But yeah, the Big Ten tournament. It's a tough tournament, and Indiana, they look good against Illinois yesterday, and it's going to be tough. And
when you have the credentials and the connections like I have, Scott, I already got a text from a fan of Mr. Farmer. Brett Farmer sends me, Brackney had fluid in his knee and just got it drained. That's the reason he hasn't been playing.
Well,
see, I wasn't on top of my game, but I was curious of why a guy would just start playing, and thanks, Brett, for letting us know. But Brackney, it sounded like he had some knee problems. Got it cleared up, got it drained. I don't know how that fluid draining, how that all works. But anyway, obviously it helped because he looked really good. So it'd be nice to see Ben real close to here in Kansas City.
So
6 hours away.
What is it? Kansas City, the closest?
That's where they're going to have
first.
right now. Lexington, boy, wouldn't that just make you mad? If there is a regional in Lexington and the Kentucky Wildcat, I mean, it wouldn't make me mad, but if you're a Wildcat fan in Lexington and you don't even get in, Kentucky may not get in.
And Louisville's in Lexington.
Louisville's in Lexington playing.
Let's just rub it in.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of cars, eggs, and stuff. Yeah, that'd be bad news there. Those fans will be rabid. You better not have any stuff on your car that says I'm a fan of Louisville, because those Wildcat fans will be all over you.
They will.
But let's see, Louisville. The 2 seeds are Kansas, who is looking really good. Miami, Florida, not high on. Georgetown, I don't know now since Syracuse beat them last night. And then Ohio State's a funny team. I watched them one night and they could be a 1 seed, and I watched them the next night and they could be a 4 or 5. Kraft I love him. I love watching Kraft play. He's almost like, you mentioned a farmer. He's almost like a farmer, a Corey or Brandon that just is crazy defense and won't take any crap from you. Right. Hits some shots when he needs to, but the ultimate floor leader. I love that team. I love that player in Kraft. I don't know that they're a 2 seed. They just don't have a lot of firepower, a lot of scoring for me. And anymore, you better be able to score to stay in these games. 3 seeds are Florida. Love them. New Mexico, don't know a lot about them, although they got a 3 seed. Michigan, man, really up and down. And then Michigan State, how do you go against Tom Izzo in Auburn Hills? I mean, that's a home game for Michigan State. They're going to play 2 games in Auburn Hills. They're going to play, it looks like Harvard compared to, or going with what Joe Lenardi says. Notre Dame right there. They could play Notre Dame in the second game.
Not Michigan, they could drop down, just with the loss against Wisconsin. Wisconsin, they have them at a 5.
Yeah, Wisconsin might take their spot.
Yeah, they could, move down. We'll see. Like I said, the Big Ten's going to be well representative. I'm kind of curious to see how they match up with other teams outside the Big Ten, because the Big Ten's known for their physical play, and like you said, there's not a whole lot of scoring going on. Indiana can score at will.
Right.
They can go on 10-0 runs. Just like a blink of an eye. But just kind of curious how they match up with some of these teams.
Well, and I think Louisville is crazy athletic. Duke, I said I'm not scared about them. I really like Gonzaga. I don't know. A lot of my friends tell me that there's no way. We saw Illinois beat them on the road. But I've watched them unfortunately, because they're on so late. I got to stay up till like midnight or 1 o'clock to watch them. But I enjoy watching them play. They push the basketball. They don't take always the best shot, but they got the big kid inside. Olenek is really, really good. He can play for anybody in the country. Their guards are good. They're small. The Stockton kid, who is John Stockton's son, he's a good ball handler. He knows when to pass. He can't score, but he's really small. And the Pangos kid is a pretty good shooter, streaky, but he's really small. Their guards will have a tough time guarding against like Trey Burke or against even Kraft. I mean, Kraft is physically stronger than they are. But you got any surprise teams that you're looking at?
I was looking at that Creighton. They got them at a 7. I thought they'd be a little higher than that. Finished winning the Missouri Valley and then winning the Missouri Valley tournament. I thought they'd get maybe at least a 5 or a 6. But like you said, this is just preliminary, and things are going to happen today and tomorrow that could shuffle some of this. Like Maryland beating Duke last night.
Yeah.
If they win their conference, they're probably right on the bubble, aren't they, Maryland?
Yeah, they were. I think they're in now. Beating Duke twice this year.
That could change up some things.
Yeah, ACC's not very good, but
the Big Ten's pretty much set because the 4 teams that are still playing are definitely going to make the tournament.
Looks like Minnesota. He's got Minnesota in at a 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they're talking Levy. This might be Tubby Smith's last year. He may get the boot.
Really?
Yeah, that's the rumors going on around anyway.
Surprise teams. St. Louis, they do have Kentucky in right now. Gosh darn. In a play-in game. Kentucky, the play-in game against Virginia, and I'll take Virginia in that game. If this holds true, I think Virginia will beat Kentucky. They have St. Louis in, of course, Cruz, who was a guy around in this area. I know he coached at Evansville for a while. I think he might even be a U-High grad. I'm not just positive on that. He's got some U-High connections somewhere. Jim Cruz, and he is coach of St. Louis after the death of Majerus, and he's got them playing like crazy. St. Louis, a 5 seed. There were times where I didn't even know St. Louis had a college besides a pharmacy school, and now they've got going to be a 5 in the NCAA tournament. VCU right there, 6. You talk about Shaka Smart, a coach that Illinois was after. You talk about a team that's athletic. They're very athletic, and they just go. You talk almost like that 40 minutes of hell that Nolan Richardson used to have with the Arkansas team. That's pretty much what VCU has. They just go and go and go. They've got them playing California, a 6-11. UNLV in it again. Belmont, Oklahoma State, Marquette, so none of this is for sure. St. Mary's is in, looks like, with an 11 seed. The play-in games right now, of course, there's 4 play-in games, 2 16s and then 2 12s, and that's North Carolina A&T and Southern U, and then also Kentucky and Virginia, LaSalle and Tennessee, and Liberty and LIU Brooklyn. So Lenardi's got those guys going to be battling.
Brooklyn, never even heard of them.
Battling it out for Monday to get in. So, great time of year. Wisconsin, Indiana. Who you like?
I like Wisconsin, just the way they're playing, but I don't know. You always take opposite what I say because I'm not much of a bettor and I'm always wrong. But Wisconsin, the way they've been playing lately. But then Indiana can score at will, like we mentioned earlier. 2 contrasting teams.
Yeah. Who sticks to their game plan?
Right.
Who executes their game plan? The guy from Wisconsin's got to be Coach of the Year in the Big Ten if you're me. I mean, the talent that he has and what he can do with those guys is unbelievable every single year.
I like Wisconsin and Michigan State. Maybe
Michigan State
championship.
to take on in the winter will be
Wisconsin.
Okay.
I don't know. They just, at the beginning of the year, they hadn't, they weren't even ranked and it had no, respect, I guess. But then they just poured it on, and then that's just come lately. They've just been playing excellent basketball, beating some top quality teams. They beat Indiana at Indiana. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're just playing good basketball right now, and you always want to peak this time of the year. You don't want to peak too early and then hit that, that slump. And right now, I think they're on top of their game and
they are
looking pretty good.
No question about it. I'm going to take Indiana in a Michigan State final, and then I think Indiana's going to bring it home. Too much firepower, although I'm not they're real streaky sometimes. But I think they've got a lot of firepower. I love the kid that comes off the bench. Sheehan or Sheehy or something like that.
And Zeller's just a beast.
Yeah, he's good.
He had 24 points yesterday, and he controls the paint and just controls the board. So, and you can't get him out of there. I don't know how many putbacks, but a lot of their points were, in the paint, second chance shots, second chance points, and it's just he's a beast.
Well, Curb, we've got to hand it over to the big dogs of the radio industry.
Well, and listeners, don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Polar Plunge, WLCN.
Yeah, are you in? Are you going in?
No, I'm not even going to be there. Oh. Bryson was elected to play in an all-star game in Springfield tomorrow. So,
okay.
It's the premier basketball, so he's going over and playing in that. We'll see how that goes.
That's not. You're not playing though.
No, Bryson.
Yeah, but that means you could still pull it.
He needs a ride.
Oh,
he doesn't have his license yet.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so they're WLCN 96.3. The gang, they're going to be there tomorrow at Lincoln Lakes. Begin at 12:30. Is Jeff number 2? Are you guys plunging?
Jeff is.
Oh, Jeff number 2 he's going in.
In a Speedo.
In a Speedo. Well, then I'm not going because that's an image I don't want to see. But, yeah, get out to Lincoln Lakes. They shuttle them over in buses from the KCs.
Yeah.
Not enough parking, but that's 12:30. Get out there and cheer Jeff number 2 on and take some pictures and get them on Facebook.
Unbelievable thing. I went for the first time last year. Didn't go in, but I did watch, and the amount of people that were there, and just the enthusiasm for these people that want to go into this water. That's, I don't even know what the temperature is, but they've been lucky the past several years. It's been 50, 55 degrees. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. No. So good luck to them, and it's a great cause. I know all those guys that take part in the Special Olympics truly appreciate it. So bring everybody out, support them, and if you want to, I'm sure you have time to hop on in if you want. So that's going to do it here from 5th Street Food Mart. The rest of the gang, Jim and Jeff number 2 will be back here with the prize girls. Stop on out at 5th Street Food Mart for all their prizes. I've got one of the last 2 3 to 5-year-old YMCA games to hit it. So baskets, and then more basketball tonight, more basketball tomorrow.
Basketball all weekend.
It's basketball season. That's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for calling in to let us know about the regular baseball. We'll see you guys next Saturday.